Hey guys, how's it going? What's up? This is Rocket League News. This is a series where we talk about everything that happened the last week in Rocket League. And a couple things before we actually get into the video. If you wanted to skip it, I'll put a timestamp into where the video starts. But a couple things. Number one, people have been asking me how come I've been uploading a little bit less frequently, and that's just honestly because I've had a lot of stuff going on. You know, haven't had all day to sit around and make videos. Sorry about that. And then secondly, I think very soon we might have maybe some different types of videos coming to the channel. I don't know. Some people are saying they want to see me expand the content a little bit. I might be doing that. You know, still Rocket League, of course, just a little bit different stuff. We'll see how people like it. We'll see if people like it, I'll do more. If people don't, then I won't. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And, you know, without further ado, of course, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe. I appreciate everyone who hits subscribe. It's the #1 way to support the channel, so thank you very much for everyone who does. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So first up in the news, we have the GOAT, the greatest Rocket League player to ever live, Turbopolsa, and he joins Team Envy. We have this tweet from Envy, the 4-time world champion and winningest player in Rocket League history. Welcome the GOAT to Envy, Turbopolsa. So, as you guys might remember in my last news video, I talked about how Turbopolsa had said that he would be going back to Europe, but it looks like he was just joking. You know, obviously, you can't always take what professional players say at face value. However, at the same time, since Turbopolsa said that he was going back to Europe, I kind of have to talk about that. That's kind of what I do on this channel. Yep, looks like he signed with Envy, and no, a lot of people were discussing where will Turbopolsa go, where will Retals go, because obviously Envy won a tournament when they played with Turbopolsa. They did very well with Retals. It was pretty much between them, a lot of people were thinking, and they stuck with Turbopolsa, which, you know, I think that's a great choice. Turbo looked great on that team. They won a tournament when they played together. So, you know what? Good for them. Good for Turbo. And looks like Envy's winning the next World Championship. Can't wait to see how Envy does. And let's get on to the next news. Next up, we have Corruptedg, and Corruptedg officially joins Rogue as their coach. So we saw in some of the recent Rocket League tournaments, Rogue had been actually playing with Corruptedg. This is because Turo was on vacation. They needed another player to play with. A lot of people thought nothing of it. You know, they're playing with Corruptedg. They just needed a player to play with, right? Well, looks like they had probably planned to make Corruptedg the coach at some point and decided that it would just be fun to play with the coach. And now a lot of people know why Rogue was playing with Corruptedg. It's because, well, Corruptedg is now technically on Rogue, but as a coach, not a player. So, you know, really cool to see Corruptedg as a coach now. And you know, it's kind of like what Cloud9 did with Fireburner. Fireburner, he was their coach, however, he was also the sub, and I'm assuming what's going to happen is Corruptedg will just also be a sub for Rogue because he is so good at Rocket League that if they ever need him to compete for them, he would be a very good player to put in there. So yeah, that's what's up with Rogue, just signed Corruptedg, and yeah, let's get on to the next news. Next up, we have the Complexity CEO, and the Complexity CEO actually came out and talked about why Complexity left Rocket League, and I'll play the clip for you. It's kind of a longer clip. Again, in case anyone just wants to skip it, I'll timestamp when it's going to end, is not to waste anybody's time, you know? I hate doing that. I hate when other people waste people's time in videos. But yeah, here's the clip.
What do you think of big orgs like C9 and Mouse pulling out of Rocket League? Do you think it was the same reason Cole left Rocket League? First, let me say I can't speculate why they pulled out of Rocket League. I can make general high-level comments about why we did, and it's probably a safe bet that they were thinking something along the same lines. Rocket League's a great game, solid community, easy to understand, fun to play, fun to watch. It's got a lot of the core mechanics of a good esport. You know, it's a good spectator esport. But in this new world of esports, there's so many games, and each organization needs to decide where they're going to invest limited amount of funds, get the quote unquote biggest bang for our buck. Gone are the days where you can just go into a game because you love that game, because the players, which is great, are making a lot of money. And if you're going to invest a couple $100,000 a year in a game, it needs to have a financial, cause, a reason in the boardroom for being in that game. Not just like, hey, we like this game, because we definitely love Rocket League. In my opinion, and to be fair, I haven't followed it very closely recently because we've been out for a while. In my opinion, The developer did not do enough to support the team participation in their game. They were too slow on some of the things like in-game items and branding and rev share, and some of the things that other developers are further along on. Rainbow Six, for example, I know is doing a really good job with that. This is probably the topic of an entire other video, but developers need to understand that the players and the teams are an invaluable part of an ecosystem if they really want to be in esports, and it's not just a cheap marketing tool for them. It has to be a win-win for everybody. The teams can't just be spending all this money on players and travel and support staff and managers and coaches and sports psychologists and housing and all this other stuff, and then we get 10-20% of the prize usually. Where's the ROI? Let's work together. Put complexity logos on the cars faster. Sell them. Get us rev share. Let's explore other ways through media rights and things like that to properly monetize this. Let's build it together. Not all developers have seen that yet. I'm optimistic that more and more are seeing that. And maybe Psyonix and now Epic, maybe they have plans. Again, I don't want to be tweeted tomorrow, oh, you didn't know about this? I haven't followed Rocket League that closely since we left. It's a great game. It's a missed opportunity, and I think the fact that a lot of these teams are leaving is just proof of that.
So yeah, that was basically everything. You know, we knew why a lot of esports organizations were pulling out of Rocket League, and Complexities was a fairly similar reason as to why a lot of these esports organizations nowadays are pulling out. You know, just a lot of things with communication, blah, 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 blah. You know, the whole list of grievances basically applies to Complexity as well, except Complexity decided to pull out of Rocket League a long time ago. And, you know, just like with all the other orgs that have pulled out, there's always a chance that they come back in the future. Complexity, Cloud9, you know, all these esports orgs that have pulled out in the past, we're getting a pretty good idea now as to why they pulled out. But you know, it's different times now. Psyonix is making a lot of changes, and you know, I do expect in the future to see some of these orgs come back into the Rocket League scene, especially with this new RLCS format, which is looking really good, a really good format. Again, for those of you who don't know, there's a new RLCS format. I've made a video on it in the past. You guys can go check that out for RLCS Season 10. So next up in the news, we have AJ, and AJ is playing the Astro Tournament with Chronic and 2Piece due to restrictions put in place by Pittsburgh Knights, which according to sources, doesn't allow him to represent Pittsburgh Knights in tournaments for the time being. So to get you guys up to speed, there is a new Astronauts tournament coming up in the near future. You know, we had one in the past. It's just a 3v3 tournament. However, the interesting thing about this is that AJ has been playing with Pittsburgh Knights for over a season now, and for some reason his contract doesn't allow him to play in tournaments for the time being. Now, obviously I don't know the details of his contract. I'm sure nobody does except AJ and Pittsburgh Knights, but it does bring up an interesting question as to why he's not allowed to be playing with them. And on top of that, you might be wondering, well, what about Reddles and Gyro? Well, Reddles and Gyro are playing with Illusion, and they're playing under the name Peeps for the Astro Tournament, which again, you know, it probably doesn't mean anything, the name, you know, since it is like a community tournament, they could probably just pick whatever name they want. They're just having fun with it. But then it also does bring up another question. Does that mean Reddles is not going to be joining another team? Because we know Reddles has had a ton of tryouts with some other teams, such as Rat Enterprises, which a lot of people speculated he would move to. But then Envy, which he played really well on, but then obviously Turbopolsa joined Envy instead of Reddles. So we know Reddles is a player with a ton of talent. I believe he has a ton of untapped potential in RLCS right now, but it seems that they're giving it he's giving it another try with Gyro, just this time with Illusion, you know, just another tryout period that's going on. You know, none of these rosters are finalized. It's all just tryouts. You know, we just got to see how they do, watch how they play together, then speculate as to what we think they might be doing. So make sure you guys knew nothing was finalized, and yeah, we'll see what happens from there. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is the Salt Mine 2, the 1v1 tournament hosted by Johnny Boy. Now, it has not started yet. However, the qualifiers are going on as I'm recording this video right now. And I thought it'd be nice just to let everyone know where we are in the Salt Mine in the qualifiers, as well as where you can watch it, because I get a lot of comments asking where I watch these tournaments. So if you're looking to watch the Salt Mine, you can watch it on Johnny Boy's stream. Currently, as of making this video, we're on qualifier number 4, and by the time I'm done with this video, the qualifier 4s will be over, and the finals should have started at this point, or should be starting the next day. So nothing too much has happened with the Salt Mine yet, still in the qualifiers, but I thought it'd be good just to let you guys know kind of where we are, where you could watch it, And yeah, that is everything. That is everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, again, I should have some more content coming out, especially this upcoming week, just because, you know I kind of slacked off last week. Only got a few videos out. But yeah, we're definitely going to be getting some more content out, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys all for watching. Hit subscribe if you guys are interested in, you know, just the content that I put out. If you want to see more, like I said at the beginning of the video, subscribing is the best way to support. You know, let me know what you guys think about the Turbo move. Do you think that Turbopolsa could help Envy win a world championship? Do you think Envy would have been better with Retals? You know, I've seen a lot of talks about that in the esports scene lately. Just let me know what you guys think. I'm always interested in your guys' thoughts, seriously. And if you guys ask me a question, usually I'll respond. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.